1 in 5 new car buyers in America is now carrying a monthly payment exceeding $1,000. That number describes a market that has drifted so far from rational ownership economics that a growing segment of buyers is doing something the industry didn't predict. They're looking at the math, looking at what they actually need and trading expensive SUVs for modern sedans. Not because sedans are exciting, because the numbers have stopped making sense in any other direction. By 2025, sedans represent merely 18.4% of new vehicle registrations, while SUVs dominate the remainder. The buyers walking away from that dominant majority aren't making a nostalgic choice. They're making the same calculation that anyone makes when a market stops delivering value. Here is exactly what they've figured out. The price gap has become impossible to ignore. The 2026 Toyota Camry starts at around $26,500 and comes standard with Toyota Safety Sense 3.0 and a fully equipped infotainment system. A comparably equipped Toyota RAV4 starts at $31,000 and climbs toward $40,000 with meaningful options. A Toyota Highlander, the 3-row version that most families buy when they decide they need more space, starts above $40,000 and reaches $55,000 in higher trims. Explore pop culture. The average new vehicle price continues to hover around $50,000. That average is being pulled upward by the SUV and truck market that represents over 80% of sales. The buyer who steps out of that market and chooses a Camry hybrid is making a decision that immediately puts $15,000 to $25,000 back in their calculation, before they've considered fuel, insurance, or the difference in monthly payments over a 6-year loan. Hub pages. The average cost of owning a Camry over 5 years works out to $34,297, taking into account depreciation, insurance premiums, maintenance and repairs, loan interest, and fuel costs. The equivalent 5-year ownership cost for a comparably equipped RAV4 runs consistently higher across every one of those categories. The buyer choosing the Camry isn't accepting a compromise, they're accepting a better deal that the market's dominant narrative had convinced them was a lesser choice. Supercars.net. The fuel economy argument has shifted completely. The historical knock on sedans was that modern SUVs had closed the fuel economy gap. That was true for a window of time. It is no longer true in 2026. The Toyota Camry Hybrid achieves up to 51 mpg combined on the base LE with front-wheel drive, a figure that drops slightly with AWD and on higher trims, but still beats most gas-only competitors. The Honda Accord Hybrid returns up to 48 mpg combined. The Toyota Corolla Hybrid leads at 50 mpg combined and starts under $25,000. CJ Pony Parts. For comparison, the Toyota RAV4 Hybrid, the most fuel-efficient version of the most popular SUV in America, achieves 39 mpg combined. The Ford Explorer Hybrid manages 28 mpg combined. The Chevrolet Tahoe with its 5.3-liter V8 gets 16 mpg in the city and 20 on the highway. The sedan driver filling up every 550 miles is watching the SUV driver pull up to the pump every 380 miles and doing the annual math without being asked. Sedans are usually more fuel efficient than comparable SUVs, one more reason why they may be better for some families. That statement is truer in 2026 than it has ever been. Modern sedans are safer than the marketing suggests SUVs are. The safety argument for SUVs has always been partly psychological and partly structural. Taller vehicles feel safer to some drivers. More mass feels protective. The statistics have never fully supported this perception. Rollover risk, stopping distances, and accident avoidance favor lower, lighter vehicles. But the perception persisted because nobody had a compelling reason to challenge it. Both the Honda Accord Hybrid and Toyota Camry earned the highest crash test ratings for safety across the board, a 5-star rating from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and a Top Safety Pick Plus from the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. Both models come equipped with driver assistance systems that include forward automatic emergency braking, adaptive cruise control, blind spot monitoring, rear cross-traffic alert, and automatic high-beam headlights. Max Motor City Garage. The suite of safety technology available on a $28,000 Accord is identical to what appears on SUVs costing $20,000 more. The argument that you need to buy a large SUV to access the most advanced safety technology collapsed somewhere around 2022 and has not recovered. The buyer choosing a sedan in 2026 is not accepting a safety compromise. They are accepting the same safety rating with a lower center of gravity, better emergency handling characteristics, and a smaller monthly payment. The insurance and maintenance advantage is compounding. Every year, total cost of ownership often favors sedans through reduced fuel costs, lower insurance premiums, and competitive maintenance requirements. The insurance gap between a mid-size sedan and a comparable SUV averages several $100s annually. Not enough to be dramatic in any single year, but compounding over 5 and 10 years into a meaningful sum that the sedan owner is keeping and the SUV owner is paying. Frankenmuth Insurance Honda parts are widely available and relatively inexpensive, especially for common services like brakes and oil changes. The Accord holds value well. According to Kelley Blue Book, it has one of the highest resale values in its class, especially for hybrid and EX trims. That means less depreciation and more money in your pocket when you're ready for a trade-in. It still runs. The depreciation story is where the sedan argument has historically been weakest. Sedans depreciate faster than SUVs in a market that overwhelmingly prefers SUVs. But that gap is narrowing as sedan supply contracts. The Honda Accord has posted impressive sales figures in early 2026, capitalizing on limited competition in the sedan segment. Both the Accord and Camry have become go-to choices for buyers looking for reliable transportation that balances comfort, efficiency, and cost. When fewer sedans are available, the ones that exist hold their value better. The buyer choosing a Camry or Accord in 2026 is entering a less crowded used market with better pricing dynamics than the same buyer faced 5 years ago. Answer: financial. What smart drivers actually figured out? Industry experts note that affordability remains a major factor driving the sedan resurgence. Many consumers perceive SUVs as less fuel efficient compared to sedans, especially during periods of high gasoline prices. As a result, sedans are increasingly seen as sensible choices for daily commuting and family transportation. Answer: financial. The word sensible is doing a lot of work in that sentence. For 20 years, the automotive industry convinced American buyers that sensible was a synonym for settling, that choosing a sedan over an SUV meant accepting less. The buyers who are now trading expensive SUVs for modern sedans have reached a different conclusion, that sensible means understanding what you actually need versus what the market has been conditioning you to want. 3 of America's most popular sedans are reliable enough to last well past 200,000 miles and priced within striking distance of each other, depending on trim. A vehicle that costs $26,500, achieves 51 miles per gallon, carries 5 adults comfortably, earns the highest safety rating available, and will run 200,000 miles with basic maintenance is not a compromise. It is the clearest value proposition in the American automotive market in 2026, and the drivers who have figured that out are done apologizing for the choice. They're just doing the math. CJ Pony Parts.